what he's cutting, I would have expected that the CS would have come here to especially respond to the question that I had asked about members of parliament that left this August hours way back in the 1990s and their welfare, Mr. Speaker. And that question, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, if I had taken a cue from the CS himself, he had severally tried to push forward the agenda of the welfare of former members of parliament who served between 1979 and I think 1992. The Speaker, I thought, then because he's seated in the office to which he was making that petition, he would be in a better position to tell us what will happen to the welfare of those members. The Speaker, with those remarks, I am disappointed, and let it be on record that I don't take it lightly, that the CS can, at 9 a.m., say that he will not appear before the Senate at 9:30 a.m. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Senator Bone.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I'm equally concerned. I sit on the Senate Finance and Budget Committee, and the minister did the same thing to us yesterday, only that he was clever by a half, in the sense that his excuse was he was attending cabinet. And you can see he was not in cabinet. He was in a rally. If this parliament is not going to rise, let me tell you, what is happening in the broad-based government is not going to be any different with what we saw in the Grand Coalition. Once people who have been opposing each other come together, Mr. Speaker, in the executive, it is parliament that can call them to order. Mr. Speaker, allow me to say this. Colleagues, when we found ourselves where broad-based is starting to take us, Honorable Mother Karua, Honorable Mungatana, Honorable Kitobu Manyara, and myself, we took upon ourselves and created an opposition. Something must be done. This is arrogance of the highest level. Did you hear yesterday, my brother from Kitui, the day before, the minister saying, whereas in the last budget, the Jaramogi Hospital could only access 300 million from Professor Nyong, now that he is Minister for Finance, in this budget, the hospital will be given 3 billion shillings. Is that what we want to allow as the working of the Constitution? We must say no, so that we protect smaller communities, unlucky communities that do not have a minister. The minister of the national government at the Treasury is not the minister for any community, leave alone the Luo community. He must serve us equally.
Senator Sifuna.
Speaker, let me first begin by saying this thing called broad-based, I don't know where it exists. Personally, I don't recognize any entity called called broad-based. There is a government of Kenya Kwanza under the leadership of President William Ruto. Every cabinet secretary who serves in that government serves the Kenya Kwanza government. And I want to join what Senator Khalwale has said. Some of these individuals who joined government recently think they are there to represent their ethnic communities. That every time a cabinet secretary stands up, he tells you how much the Ministry of Energy has allocated to power projects in Nyanza. So the rest of us lawyers are sitting there wondering, Allah, so who is going to speak about the projects in Bungoma? Who is going to speak about the projects? Honorable Speaker, I have said on this floor that as a Senate, as a Parliament, it is the responsibility of all of us, irrespective of our political parties, to oversight the national governments and the county governments. Honorable Speaker, if there is a problem with a CS, that CS must account to Parliament as an institution, not even to their political parties or this thing, monster they are calling broad-based. It doesn't exist in my view. So, Honorable Speaker, yesterday, I saw at night, just before the game between Inter Milan and Barcelona began, I saw the CS of Treasury on Citizen TV. He has time to appear before Citizen TV, but he has no time to appear before this house. I refused to watch that interview and switched to the football match because I was expecting him here. The conversations that are important to me from that CS are the ones that happen here. Speaker, we have said, when I used to be in the SBC, that the CSs must write in good time to tell the House that they will not be showing up. If a CS insists on writing on the day before, that is absolute contempt. And they must be called out. Honorable Khalwale, trust me, for as long as I remain the senator of Nairobi, for as long as I remain a senator in this house, and the oath that I took there on the first day that I came to this house, there is not going to be a minister that we are going to, protect or babysit or cover up. It doesn't matter whether they come from ODM or from wherever. They are there to serve the public, and we will call them out, Honorable Speaker, as we have always done. So, Honorable John Mbadi, I will call him by his name, must know that as a house we are unhappy that he has time to attend rallies where he explains how much money Luos are going to get from this government, and he has time to go to Citizen TV to tell us lies about economic growth. When you read the newspapers today, data from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, Honorable Speaker, is saying that the economy has done the worst since COVID, that we have lost jobs, that salaries and wages have shrunk because of the taxation that has been imposed by this government. Then you go on Citizen pontificating there about the work that you are doing. Honorable Speaker, we will call out these cabinet secretaries without fear. Mimi siogopi mutu. We will say these things publicly because that is what we swore to do. Honorable Speaker, that CS, in fact, you need to confirm to this House if since he was sworn in as CS, he has ever appeared here. I have never seen him here. I have never seen him here. Where? Yeah. So, Honorable Speaker, this is an issue that we as a leadership in the Senate have to call out, and we have to insist that we have to do our oversight as senators, regardless of whatever monster people think exists in this country called broad-based. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Mungatana.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, when a minister doesn't turn up, it is fair for us to actually have access to that letter. I overheard a conversation that even the letter that was written was addressed to a committee. It was not supposed to be the plenary. So it seems like the minister is not even aware that he was supposed to be in plenary this morning, Mr. Speaker.
Just for clarity,
yes,
Honorable Mungatana.
Yes.
The letter is addressed to the clerk.
Yes.
The reference is the 3 questions that are supposed to be responded to this question. So indeed, the CS was aware that I was supposed to appear this morning for purposes of appearing before the plenary, but he chose not to appear, given the reason as an engagement in other official duties.
Yes, so, Mr. Speaker, let me take it from there. Mr. Speaker, 2 of my colleagues have talked about what these ministers, or let me call them cabinet secretaries, do when they go to public rallies accompanying the president. Mr. Speaker, I have heard Minister Mbadi speak about increasing the allocation of Jaramogi Odinga Hospital to 3 billion. I have heard Honorable Opiyo Wandayi, Mr. Speaker, speaking about how much money he has put for electrification of his rural area in Nyanza region, Mr. Speaker. He has even said that the money that they have gone to borrow on behalf of Kenya has gone to his region. Majority of the people who have benefited are his region. So, Mr. Speaker, we want to tell these people that when you are a minister and you are increasing the allocation to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital, what about Coast General Hospital? What about Coast General Hospital? Have you forgotten, Mr. Mbadi, that you are also a minister for the Coast region? Yes. What about this man called Opiyo Wandayi? When you say you've gone to borrow money on behalf of the entire Kenya to take to Nyanza, what about Tana River County? What about the Coast region? What is wrong with you people? I think there's a problem, Mr. Speaker, with these people when they accompany the president on these political rallies. we should pass a law that they should not accompany the president to political rallies. These people are supposed to be technical people. The people who should accompany the president are governors, senators, members of parliament. These are the people who should be there on the ground. What do these people do? And the fact is, whenever the president is not there, they don't go to those places. You don't see them doing official things. You don't see them opening the TVETs and doing this kind of thing. It is a high disrespect for this country to stand. We approved you as a cabinet minister for Kenya, and then you come and tell us about your rural projects. It is terrible, Mr. Speaker, and they must be called to order. And I pray the president watching this, he will call his ministers to order. They are supposed to serve the Republic of Kenya, not their rural constituencies, Mr. Speaker. It is wrong. What will happen to us? Tana River country has never had a cabinet secretary, has never had a cabinet minister since independence. So what do we do? What will happen to us, Mr. Speaker? Shame on these people, Mr. Speaker. Shame on them.
Senator Fatuma Dulo.
Mr. Speaker, let me join my colleagues in actually contributing to this discussion. I remember yesterday in House Business we discussed this matter. And this letter didn't come yesterday. I put a question to you. What happens in the absence of these ministers appearing in the House? And actually there is a reason, Mr. Speaker, why we requested cabinet secretaries to appear on the floor of this House. We have other businesses also to do, Mr. Speaker. And I think as a House, and you said it on the floor of the House, Mr. Speaker, this is the time for action. We want to see that action. Because we cannot come in the morning here, running to the House, and the people who are supposed to appear and account for whatever they are doing for this country, they are giving excuses. So if it happens that we need to change standing orders, we must change and hold these ministers accountable. Mr. Speaker, to some extent, we can say that they can accompany the cabinet, the president, to account for what they are doing within their ministry. But the priority should be parliament. It's not that rally. Mr. Speaker, as a House, can we stop lamenting? If a cabinet secretary does not actually indicate that he's not going to be available 2-3 days before the sitting, then I think we should surcharge them. I thank you.
Senator Wakoli of Fuller.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii na kuwapa kongole maseneta ambao wamewafokea ama wamemfokea waziri wa fedha ambaye ameanza kuonyesha utovu wa nidhamu na mamlaka kuingia kichwani kwake kwa kukosa kuheshimu Senate kama chumba cha kuwakilisha raia. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kujihusisha na matamshi ya Mheshimiwa Mungatana kwamba Kenya hii na kaunti 47, Kenya hii na zaidi ya maeneo bunge 290, Kenya hii na maeneo ya wadi zaidi ya 1000 na makabila yote yamo hapa nchini. Mheshimiwa Spika, iwapo mawaziri watakuwa naangalia maeneo yao na kutenga fedha za kuwatetea wao, hakuna haja wao kuleta stakabadhi za kupitishwa hapa Senate. Wawe wanaenda katika vijiji vyao wapitishe bajeti zao na watuachie sisi jumba la Senate na jumba la kitaifa kutetea wa Kenya. Mheshimiwa, ni dhahiri shairi kwamba hali si nzuri hapa Kenya. Na kila mara sisi ambao tuko mrengo wa serikali tunawatetea, tunatunga sheria, tunakaa hadi usiku wa manane kuhakikisha kwamba sheria tunazotunga zinaweza kuboresha maisha ya wananchi. Lakini hatuwezi kesha hivyo, alafu yule tumempa mamlaka na nafasi ya kuamrisha jinsi fedha zitatumwa anatupiga teke. Hatuwezi bembelezana hivyo, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na lazima tukubaliane, iwapo tuko sisi ambao tuko serikali tunafanya yale serikali inataka, na wale ambao wako katika serikali kufanya kazi hawaheshimu kazi zao, basi tukutane hapa. Siku watataka tuwasaidie, pia sisi tutakataa. tuone kama hizo fedha watapata. Juzi wamekuwa na turai hapa tupige kura ziende mashinani. Tulikubali kwamba tuko katika serikali. Lakini tuko katika serikali, wale tunatetea wanatudharau. Wanatuonyesha kiburi. Sasa tukubaliane, na mimi naomba viongozi katika mrengo wa serikali, siku ipo watakuja, watatuomba tupige kura, tupitishe miswada yao. Wacha tukatae, alafu tuone watatupigia makofi ama watatushurutisha. Mimi naongea kwa niaba ya watu wa Bungoma. Wametangaza kwamba wanapandisha hadhi hospitali ya Bungoma. Ni sawa, tumekubali. Lakini iwaje mtu anatangaza fedha za kwenda kwao na sisi wanatuambia tu tumepandisha? Kupandisha nini? Hata wale katika nyumba zao kiamka kuna vitu unapandisha. Serikali bendera hupandishwa. Sasa lazima watuambie kaunti hizi zote wamepandisha nini ili Mkenya afurahi kwamba tunaunga serikali mkono. Lakini upumbavu ambao tunaona Mheshimiwa Spika na kiburi na fedheha hatutakubali. Na naomba kama jumba la Senate amrishwe kuja hapa. Na huko kwetu akija kibwatabwata kitaumana. Sisi sio watoto. Sisi ni viongozi, tumepigiwa kura. Tunawaheshimu na wao pia watuheshimu. Njia ni mbili. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Now, honorable senators, we have the CS in charge of education with us. And he has about 7 questions to, we will be doing a lot of disservice if we eat into the time that the honorable CS would have used to respond to these questions. I've heard your frustrations, I've heard your disappointments, I've heard your concerns, and honorable senators, indeed, this letter is contemptuous. It does not even indicate the reason why the CS is not present. And if you read Standing Order 51D, it clearly states that if a CS fails to appear for no good reason, then a censure motion can ensue. Honorable senators, you have a weapon to handle such kind of CSs. The reason I've given a number of you to, ventilate your frustrations is so that a clear message is sent to the executive of the frustrations that this House goes through when it wants to handle the question time. You will agree with me that sometimes back we had to adjourn the question time because there was no CS present. A morning session was almost collapsing if we didn't have any other business that was indicated in the order paper. And therefore, honorable senators, we have, again, I say this, we have lamented for quite some time. Time has come for you, honorable senators, to invoke the provisions of Standing Order 51D and move a censure motion so that this Senate can regain its respect and CSs can acknowledge indeed that this is a house that speaks for and on behalf of the people. The questions that are supposed to be answered by the CS in charge of Treasury are questions that arise from concerns raised by Kenyans, not just you as senators. And therefore, any CS failing to appear for purposes of responding to these questions, basically he's failing Kenyans. Honorable senators, we have talked enough. We have lamented enough. We have vented our frustrations enough. It is time you invoke Standing Order 51D and move an official censure motion against some of these CSs so that we can see some seriousness going forward. Let us leave it there and allow the CS Education, who is in the House, to proceed and answer the questions that are before us. You will note that we have about 6 questions. So it will take quite some time before we discharge the CS. The more we vent our anger against the CS Treasury, the more we eat into the time that we would have otherwise allowed the CS Education to respond to these very many questions that has come to respond to. And therefore, honorable senators, allow me to invite the CS Education for purposes of responding